Well, it's time. It's the funnest time for my week. Anytime Doocy goes after Karine, Jean, diversity hire, the lady who will not answer a question, he asks her, are we allowed to call the people that are going after Israel students, like the protesters, are we allowed to call them extreme? You know, the way that they called Trump supporters extreme MAGA. As usual, she fails to communicate anything.
Does Biden think the anti-Israel protesters in this country are extremists?
What I can say is what we've been very clear about this.
This is something that Obama used to say too. Well, let me be totally clear. Anytime someone says, let me be clear, it's because they have not been clear. So she goes, we've been totally clear. No, you haven't been, or he wouldn't be asking the question. Ding-a-ling. Why do you think he's asking? Because it's not clear.
When it comes to anti-Semitism, there is no place. We have to make sure that we speak against it very loud.
And yet she has not spoken loud against anti-Semitism to a point of calling Ilhan Omar and the squad extreme.
And be very clear about that.
Clearly call them extreme. Here, I'll help you move your mouth. Ilhan Omar is extreme.
When the president decided to run for president is what he saw in Charlottesville in 2017, when he saw neo-Nazis marching down the streets of Charlottesville with vile anti-Semitic just hatred.
Bring up Charlottesville. Remember that when Trump said there's probably good people on both sides in Charlottesville? This was like 300 people. Have you seen the Palestinian anti-Israel marches in Paris, London? 9,000 of them took over the Brooklyn Bridge. On our campuses and universities, it is to the tens, probably hundreds of thousands of people. And she does a moral equivalence with 300 weirdos that came out for Charlotte and ran up the rebel flag. These people are obfuscators, and the evil can exist so long as they keep obfuscating for them. Look, I am for military involvement in Israel. I know there's a lot of people on the right who are isolationist or anti getting involved. I get it. Okay, there could be a diversity on what you think should happen, but it is clear, if you've ever seen the marches of the pro-Palestinian forces, anti-Israel students, they're moral idiots. What they're equating, there is no equal.
And he was very clear then, and he's very clear now. He's taken actions against this over the past 2 years. Name one.
He's done nothing about the anti-Semitism of AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. Nothing. They're tippy-toeing around them. They're terrified.
And he's continued to be clear. There is no place for this type of vile and despite this kind of rhetoric.
And we hear you guys, though, talk about extremists all the time. It is usually about MAGA extremists. So what about these protesters who are making Jewish students feel unsafe on college campuses? Are they extremists?
I've been very, very clear.
You were not very clear, and you will not answer the question, and you will not call them extreme. You won't do it. She reserves that for Trump and MAGA extremists, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is extreme and terrifying. But the pro-Palestinian anti-Israel group that say push Israel into the ocean, they're like, nah, not so extreme.
We are calling out any form of hate. Any form of hate.
Literally not calling it out. You're saying it, but you won't address it now. What about Rashida Tlaib? Let's hear it.
It is not acceptable. It should not be acceptable here. And we are going to continue to call that out.
Well, you're doing a bang up job, so continue doing it, because no one's clear on your position. No one is getting the message loud and clear. You spend all your time going after Trump supporters, and do not spend time going after these nutty, insane, violent, hateful pro-Palestinian, anti-Israeli groups.
Does President Biden look at these anti-Israel protests on college campuses and think it's nice to see that the country's youth are so involved, or does he think the next generation is doomed?
Here's the thing.
I'll answer that for you. Oh, dude, the next generation is so doomed. We need to repent. Everyone does, including me. We repent before Jesus, And that's what America must do. America must repent. This can't be solved with politics, guys. The crookedness of the American heart cannot be solved with politics. This is a supernatural opportunity. I pray that America repents. So that's my position on it. You may disagree. You're, of course, welcome to tell me what you think would be the big answer down in the comments below. I'm Doug in Exile.